You're listening to Radio Free Rhinecliff.
Welcome to Studio Property, a cinema podcast for people like you. I'm Doug Wortell.
I'm Devin Irby, and this week we're discussing The Man Who Fell to Earth, circa 1976.
And we're also joined by one Cody Ramone, who returns again.
Yay!
Thanks for having me back.
And who directed this film, Cody?
It's Nicholas Roeg directed The Man Who Fell to Earth.
And it stars David Bowie.
The most glorious of David Bowie.
I was going to say, does anybody else in it matter?
Well, Candy Clark.
Candy Clark,
Okay,
Rip Torn,
fine.
a very good Rip Torn.
Very fine.
Buck Henry.
Screenwriter of The Graduate. Amazing comedian.
Hosted SNL how many times?
A lot of times. We should also acknowledge that this is coming out on David Bowie's birthday.
No, it's not. It's coming out the day before David Bowie's birthday.
Oh, the day before.
Yes, the day before.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well, then you have a day to figure out how you're going to listen to Black Star.
That's
that
right.
day. Like, are you going to stream it? Yeah. Are you going to get it on vinyl that day? Is this the year you get it, or are you going to wait for the 10-year anniversary? These are all, not to stress anybody out, but these are all the things that need to cross your mind.
You listen to this podcast, and then you go out immediately while you're digesting. You buy the vinyl of Black Star, and then listen to it on his birthday.
I'm just going to tell you right now, you're not going to find a first issue for under $75.
I think that's okay, though. You can get subsequent issues if you're just going to listen to it and enjoy it.
I mean, that's true.
Well, The Man Who Fell to Earth is a classic tale of a stranger crash landing on a planet with an embarrassment of natural resources, but only one brand of gin. The film itself is a little E.T., but also a little bit Zardoz. It is reminiscent of Starman, both film and song, but unfortunately, it is also reminiscent of a recently released congressional ethics report. It is a little bit masterpiece and a little bit trash. But no matter the measure, what is unarguably captured is the performance of an artist so clearly at the peak of his expensive coke habit. Join us, Earthlings, as we examine The Man Who Fell to Earth. Devin, hit it. So much cocaine.
Put that prop gun down, put back the canisters you stole. The devil laughed out loud when you signed away your rotten soul. That's studio property, your studio property. Hey! Shut your mouth or you'll never work in Hollywood again. Hacha!
I'll be honest, I am drinking gin right now in celebration of the movie. I did not do many grams of cocaine beforehand.
Is it Beefeater gin? Because that's the only gin that exists in The Man Who Fell to Earth.
It is not, because Beefeater does not come into my house.
Well, also, did anybody else also wonder about that? I was like, was this just pure product placement? Because if I was Beefeater...
It clearly was, yeah.
But if I was Beefeater Jim, I don't know that I would want product placement for a movie about
Did you say
an
if
alien.
you were Beefeater Jim, like he's a person? If I was Beefeater Jim, I would not do that.
No, that was just my
If I was James W. Beefeater.
No, that was just my standard inability to speak clearly. If I was Beefeater Gin, if I would be executives at Beefeater Gin, I would be concerned about doing product placement in a movie that's literally about a guy that drinks so much he basically destroys his family.
But it's 1976, so...
Right, so it was commonplace. That was part of the course in 1976. You don't even have to be an alien.
Yeah.
1976 was so bad, we were bad influence on outer space beings. We ruined their lives too.
And
Oh my God.
In terms of alcoholism, even in film in that era, this is pretty light, strangely. Even though he can't complete this mission to save his planet, it's still relatively light.
I think that's it. I think it is the story of an alien that comes to get some resources back to his planet and is like just ruined by Earth. Earth just ruins him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's the prerequisite sort of like alien story where, of course, our government gets a hold of him. That's like almost the end of the movie. But by then, like, he's not even worth cutting open.
They're just trying to decide. They're like, are you actually an alien or just some wino with a lot of money?
everyone kind of gets ruined in the process. It's like it's a big car crash of experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one that doesn't, I wouldn't say gets ruined, is Dr. Bryce, Rip Torn's character.
Yeah, we're all thinking the same thing. Ew.
Yes.
Because we're thinking, ew.
Ew.
So I guess you want to get this part out of the way real quick?
Oh, so gross. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I watched this movie this morning, and I didn't need to see Rip Torn's wiener at 10 a.m., but I did.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, I mean, as wieners go, it was flaccid and kind of...
Disappointing. You can say disappointing.
Disappointing. Yeah. It was a thing that should not be.
Yeah.
No. It was so unnecessary.
What we're describing is a montage of he's a teacher, like a science teacher, professor at this point, sleeping with his students who are very much 18 years old. It said 18 anyway. We're hoping that there was some standards and practices on that set, because these women looked very, very young.
Very young.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Well, and it just seems so unnecessary to the storyline. Like, why did we have to know that he was a womanizer? I didn't understand why we needed to know that.
I did. I think the point of it, from what I gathered, because when he leaves the university and goes and gets the job with, World Enterprises Corporation, generic mega corporation, he says in his voiceover that he doesn't even womanize or anything. Like, he's just focused on science. So I think his higher thinking is being utilized more to actually improve humanity, as it were.
But left to his own devices, when he's not stimulated by his work and his studies, he just starts a conveyor belt of 18-year-olds that he sort of wrestles with. It's like it's
so uncomfortable.
Right? Yeah. It's weird. It's uncomfortable.
And how it's shot is really gratuitous.
Yes. Unnecessarily gratuitous. I feel like any gratuity in a French film feels like there was a reason for it to be there, and somehow it's always rather beautiful in it. Whatever way.
Even they are decent enough to glaze the lens.
Right. Yeah. Give them that Marlene Dietrich. I smeared some Vaseline on it.
Yeah.
But as you say, Rip Torn's flaccid penis was a thing I never needed to see.
No, that was the Haktua girl of what you just described earlier.
Which, it's so funny too, because in his performance overall, he has a really his performance is great, and he's really understated and does an excellent job. But those bits, you're just like, whoa.
And what's really strange is there's a scene later in the film that we'll do a deep dive on that could have been. I'll just get there. There is the scene where David Bowie reveals himself to the woman who he has fallen in love with, vice versa, in his fashion. And after her initial breakdown, she still tries to negotiate with what she has to work with. Even receiving this new data that this dude is an alien. Here, I'll show you the clip real quick. We'll get into this a little bit. Music is a little funky for the scene. It's kind of distracted. But my point is that the Rip Torn scene kind of undermines the scene. So here's the reveal when she finds out he's an alien. Great. And no warning, nothing. Not like, hey, babe, you got to be prepared. He's like, ha-cha-cha. Hey, girl. What's the matter? It's the Glass Spider Tour. So check it out. It's a few minutes later. He's laying in bed, not having reacted to her reaction, and she's going to try to have sex with him anyway, but try to ignore the music. I'm in heaven. Sorry. What is that sludge? I'm gonna slime you in the night.
Do you think that was the cream of wheat product placement?
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
No, but like she's trying to negotiate with his body anyway, which is kind of a beautiful idea. That movement sounds like Purple Rain, but that slime is disconcerting, and I guess this is like what coitus is on their planet. I'm hung like a Barbie doll. It's a lipstick applicator down there. Like a dog got. Sorry, I got carried away. But yeah, but like, it's a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
Like, and there's a lot of great ideas in this movie like that one that are just sort of thrown out and not cohesively sewn together. That's a wonderful idea. She discovers that he's an alien, but loves him so much she's gonna give it a whirl. You know?
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
That's totally true. Although it's like when you say it's not well woven together, like she gets terrified of him being a hairless dragon man alien. And
he literally does have like a Barbie mound suddenly.
Oh, yeah.
Where in the movie you do see his business as well, his human business, but his alien business is just like this sort of, you know, like a doll.
I immediately went to Weird Barbie talking about Ken and the Barbie movie when she's, I wonder what kind of hunk of molded plastic he's got under those shorts or whatever she says.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it made me think of.
And it's what's wild about that is that like later on when the scientists get him, he's like in his human get up again, and they manage to get down to business again, but now she's having sex with his costume essentially, right? Like,
yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things I even put like in my notes. Like there's movies in the 70s and 80s where it's really nice, the ambiguity and the lack of description and exposition they give you. I like that. They let you just catch up. They respect the audience to just be like, they'll get here. But then sometimes you're like, I'm just missing parts. Like, where are we at?
Yeah.
And now they're like,
right.
how does this weird human disguise work? That I don't need like a detailed technical drawing, but like, is it just a costume? Is he like, what are we doing?
Right. Because we're aware that clearly his planet has a lot of technology. So a little info. So we're just meant to believe, well, they made him functional human parts. He's humanoid. They made him functional human parts. But I agree with you, Cody. Yeah. I don't necessarily want everything spoon-fed to me. But sometimes you need a tiny bit. And this really, other than Rip Torn's weird out of nowhere voiceover, his little weird bit of narration. Which
that happened a couple times with her as well, I believe.
But
with Mary
not
Lou also.
Often. It wasn't like a standard thing. It just happened a couple of times.
But this scene is such a great idea in a freaking weird, convoluted movie. And what is that soundtrack? And it speaks to something Cody and I were talking about earlier. Like the person who did the soundtrack was John Phillips, whose personal life looked a lot like Bryce's in the beginning of this movie.
But worse.
But way, way, way worse. But let's not think about it. But he did the soundtrack of this movie. Bowie was supposed to, but got busy. Right?
Was it busy? I heard that he had some sort of contract troubles. There was something.
Yeah.
It was like his record company or something.
Yeah. But also he produced 2 pieces of music and the director rejected them outright. And they end up on Station to Station and Low, which is immediately after this film, right? So in this film, he's coming off of Young Americans, right? So he's like back and forth on the Young Americans tour, wrapping up doing this film, and then he's about to go record Station to Station. And that piece, I think the instrumental piece ends up on either this one or Low, but like one piece of music ends up on each of those 2 records. So, which is, those records are very confusing in a way because like he uses images from this movie for those covers of those 2 albums.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Why? Were you hated shooting album covers? Like you just, it looked good in this movie I made last year. Yeah, just pick another still from that movie I did.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. If I looked like David Bowie in this movie, and there was a bunch of pictures of me, I'd probably be like, yeah, just use these.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Use them for the rest of my career. Actually, Go ahead. Use them forever.
Totally
And he clearly has the Young American's hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about the soundtrack, John Phillips' soundtrack. How would you describe it, Cody?
It's kind of like a ball peen hammer to the temple a lot of the time. It's a lot. And here's the soundtrack. Like, if you just hear the soundtrack, there's some great music in it. There's some interesting like needle drops and like things like that are cool, but it is not woven together. Again, this is probably the through line of this movie. It is not woven together well.
Mm-hmm.
No, like here's an example. Like Cody sent this over, and I was laughing because like we have dubbed this scene "jump scare bluegrass."
Shit. Sorry.
I'm concerned about the recovery program.
Don't be.
Don't be. Mr. Newton, are you crazy?
Sorry, I punched my microphone because I was laughing so hard.
Did you punch your microphone?
Yes, because I was like gesturing because I was laughing so hard. I literally punched my microphone and knocked a drink over.
Oddly enough, that's the most effective like music because of like just it's ridiculous, but it's just like.
But it's not even on a comedy beat. It's in a driving montage. He's going from like dialogue in the back of a car, and he's like, "Okay, let's do a wide of the top of the car." And then immediately this bluegrass shenanigan.
It's crazy.
Like, I can't even. Like, as soon as you said that to me, I was rolling. Like,
yeah, that's
like,
one time
man.
I laughed. I really laughed out loud when I was just sitting here. I was just like, what's going on?
And again, there's so many great ideas in this movie that just get insulted by moments like that one.
Yeah.
As soon as that music started, I was like, oh, Duke's a hazard. And then I immediately thought something exciting or funny was going to happen. I was waiting for a car to jump something or something ridiculous.
To pause and be like, I hope the law don't get them Duke boys.
Yes, I've always waited for something like that. And that's not what happened.
It's just a minute of bluegrass and wide shots of landscape.
Yes, them driving. That's it.
That alien didn't know Enos was right on his tail. Yiggy, yiggy. What the hell?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, John
It's
Phillips
almost
is
like Nicholas Roeg and John Phillips never had a conversation.
Yes.
Like there was in a script, like because there's no space anything in the sound, like nothing.
There's one. There's just the Mars movement of that classical piece about the 9 planets.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's used everywhere all the time. Everyone's heard it. But that's the only space in quotes.
Right, but that's the stock music because some of it's stock.
Right.
Like a lot of it, he composed, and then what he didn't compose, he just took stock music. Because I understand he only had like 3 weeks or something.
Oh wow,
so bizarre.
Because he thought Bowie was doing it, and then that wasn't happening. So he called John Phillips.
The other thing I want to know is, did John Phillips do the whale song? Because every time they'd go to his home planet, it only sounded like whale song to me.
Hold on, do I have it here? Let me see if I have that here. Because is this the song?
It's part of it. Yeah, it's gonna sound like. Yeah, it kind of sounds like whale singing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple other. There's a couple other points where you hear it a little more. But yeah, it sounds like whale singing.
But what family outing? Like, what vacation have you ever been on where you're the only person coming off of any tram? Like, his is the only family that exists on their home planet. I know it's a stupid detail to point out, but
it is. Yeah,
I was annoyed. I was annoyed.
I noted that as the mossy TP alien train.
Yeah, which, by the way, is just like spray painted mud on a truck that's being pulled.
Yeah, it looks like an OG Doctor Who villain.
Yeah,
It does.
It does.
Also, that was one of those moments where I was like, this thing can't go into outer space. It's an Adobe mud hut situation, but they're trying to convince us that it's going to go down that track and it's the lifeboat that's going to send them to Earth.
And it's on a tram.
Right.
Where's it flying to?
It's flying. It's going to zoom him to get him to Earth. Because
is it? I assumed it was taking him into the city to go on the rocket.
He was like, I assumed it was the F train.
Is that not? That looks a lot like the Green Line here. I'm just saying.
Right. Well, but there's no other commuter on it.
No.
But the book, because this is based on a book, right? Which is 13 years prior to the making of the film, and it's described as he gets sent to Earth on a lifeboat because their ships. That's why their people can't come to Earth, is because their ships are all old and unfunctional. So they send him to Earth on a lifeboat. So my assumption was the little tram thing was so he could get enough speed so the little lifeboat could shoot him into space.
You know what, guys? We're getting a call. Hold on a minute.
Oh.
Let's see. Let's see what this is here. Hello, Studio Property.
Yes, am I on Pod Show?
You're calling into Radio Free Rhinecliff.
Yes, is this Devon and Douche?
I'm Devon. And that's Douche.
Oh, Douche. It's great. Great to be on the show. Thank you.
I've been called worse. Caller, what's your name? He sounds like the guy who called him Mikhail.
Michael,
really quick, where are you from?
I'm from one of the stands. The main Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. Don't ask questions.
Okay, one of the stands. Excellent.
I mean, you can only hear us in the Rhinebeck area, right? So,
sorry, I live in the Rhinebeck, but yes, I'm from one of the stands. I just don't like to say for obvious reasons.
I mean, I get it. Understood.
We live in weird times, Devin and Douche. You know this. We live in very weird times. I'd not like to reveal where I'm from. Why do I need this information? I just had a quick question for you guys. Very excited to be on.
Of course. We're happy to have you.
Sure. What's your question? Yeah.
Yeah, so I was listening, first-time listener, and I hear you guys speaking to a man named Nail. Do you remember Nail?
Oh, yeah. Yes. He called
Nail?
when we
Did
were
we
talking.
Speak to a Nail?
I assume he means Neil, who called when we were talking about Some Like It Hot. Of course. Absolutely.
Oh, that was just last week. Yeah. We spoke to Neil. Yeah.
Yes, I have an awkward question for you. We don't know each other without Douche and Devon, but it's hard for me to say. All right, so Nail, he's my ex-husband. And Nail and I built great life together. However, I have custody of all of our children. And Nail has not paid me in 6 months. Now, I know this is not something for Pod Show to get involved with. You guys talk about the movie cinemas. Me, I look for help. And the help I need is maybe you got some personal identifiable information from Nail, like his mobile telephone or perhaps his street address. I need to get money back from Nail. He's just not paying. We have so many small kids. Douche, Surly.
Hold on, let me start. You know what, Neil? Yeah, Neil, let me. Yes, I do. I have one child.
Neil. Get the names right. This is
right.
important.
Michael,
Doug.
Sorry. I'm very stressed out right now because we don't have a call screener, first of all. Secondly, this conversation has really nothing to do with what we're talking about. He's asking
what are you talking
personal
about?
information.
I could contribute. Do you want me to contribute? I'm rather quick on my feet.
Well, if you were listening, you knew we were talking about a David Bowie film called The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Bowie about the man from space, the alien. It's funny. Yes, I know.
So you saw The Man Who Fell to Earth?
Douche, I was not born yesterday. Of course I saw Man from Earth.
Oh, fantastic.
Man who fell to Earth. English broken sometimes. You understand.
Oh,
right.
Of course.
Yeah, Rhinebeck is suddenly Brighton Beach. I totally understand. What did you think of the film?
What did I think of film? I don't know. I mean, most people talk about how he's an alien pretending to be a human, but in real life he was the reverse. Like, everybody talks about this like the funny joke. But the reality is, and I struggle to say this out loud, but here goes. The way I would frame it is that the man who fell to Earth, while it's often called incomprehensible, I don't think that's fair. Listen, the film is about the alien who comes to Earth, builds spacecraft, gets rich, becomes an alcoholic, and ends up living in luxury hotel while his alien wife and children die on his home planet. You know, classic immigrant story. I don't know why people don't like it.
Well, I mean, you nailed it. I can't argue with that.
I did a little show podcasting myself a few years ago.
Ooh,
oh, really?
What about?
It was about Niel. It was about the end of our marriage.
Oh,
You did
I'm
a
so
podcast
sorry.
about the end of your marriage?
Listen, so the stranger things have happened, no?
Is it still available? Because I kind of want to subscribe to it.
Yeah, me.
I
mean,
took
yeah,
it
I
down.
mean-
The lawyers made us take us down during mediation. It was
Oh.
upsetting. Let's get back to the point. Will you give me Nail's mobile phone and or personal identifiable information? Maybe you'll have his last 4 digits of social.
I don't
Track
have
him
his.
down with last 4.
Okay, well, I assume because you were married, you might even know his last 4, or certainly have access to it. But
He stole all the information. I tried to not remember many things about Nail. You know what I mean? I did not want to remember his birthday. Did not want to remember the day we got married. That's how I feel about Nail. So, you know, I don't want to know anything about him. I forget. So that's why I need it from you, Doge and Devon.
right.
Devon, am I saying your name right, Devon?
It's Devin, but I do not mind the way you're
Devon.
saying
That's a
it.
beautiful
we
name.
also
Now,
have
Doge.
Cody Ramon
Yes.
is here as well this week.
Oh,
We did
there's
the guest
Cody.
episode.
I did not realize Cody was here. Hello, Cody.
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
Mikhail.
I
don't know. I'm a man that can find things. I think I can help you, Mikhail.
Oh, this is the man. Why was I even talking to Douche? Okay. I
Yeah,
appreciate
Deuce
it,
can't
Cody.
help you. I can help you.
Douche can never.
I know
help.
people. I'm connected.
Well, I
mean,
could
it
say
sure
this. You know what?
does.
How about this? The information I can give you has already been available. It's already out. We said it on the show. Neil works at the Performing Arts Center in Rhinebeck. Nights. He's usually there later. And
Hang on, Douche, I have to interrupt. I had Sammy, stop doing that, Sammy. How many times do I have to tell you stop hitting the other children? I'm so sorry, Douche.
So
There was my
Neil-
eldest son. He's violent sometimes. That's why we need alimony. We need to get him the counseling he so desperately needs.
Of course, I perfectly understand. And broken homes are hard on children. But
Indeed, they are.
did you try the Performing Arts Center? Did you know that Neil worked there? We talked about it last week.
Yes, I knew that. I don't have courage to be there in person. I need to do this. I think the word is clandestine.
Well,
I get
you
that.
can
I
reach
do.
the Performing Arts Center in Rhinebeck. By the way, there's a performance of Shrek happening there.
Oh, that
Oh.
sounds lovely.
It does. You could take the kids.
Yeah, you could take the kids.
Is this live action Shrek or is this you say performance?
Live action. Yes, it's a performance,
Yeah,
a theater
yeah.
performance.
Yes, but
Yes.
Sam would love that. He likes the donkey.
And
Who
afterwards,
doesn't? Yeah. who
Neil's
doesn't?
troupe goes on after, I believe, the actual.
Wait, you said troop. What is troop? He's got military force.
I asked the same question. Yeah, no, it's not that. I'm so glad I wasn't being racist last week. I thought I was racist asking that question. Thank you.
You're
Yeah, no, it was his theater troupe, his all-female theater troupe performs there after the actual
All-female.
Rhinebeck Performing Arts troupe performs. So yeah, they're performing Shrek until I think January 12th, right? And you can reach the Rhinebeck Performing Arts Center by calling 845-876-3080.
All right, I will give them a call. I'm sure Nayu will be
Not
there.
you. You don't tell Neil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the audience.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
part of audience, douche.
I mean, he is.
Clearly. Yeah.
It's a start. It's a start, Mikhail. I mean, it gets you on the right path, right?
This
For the
gives
kids.
me hope.
My
Devon.
goodness, how many kids do you have?
It's just 3 boys.
Oh, 3 boys is a lot, though.
Yes,
Boys
they
are
are
a lot.
16, 7, and 4. I raised them all myself. I make all their clothes. It was hard. It's hard. I'm a seamstress by trade, but Nail, he was supposed to be the breadwinner, and seamstress don't pay bills like it used to be. In old country, I could run it for just one dress. I make one dress and I own half the capital.
I mean, I get that.
The conversion rate and inflation did not work so well then.
Although, people are getting back to specialty made items. I feel like if you really wanted to, you'd have a real shot at getting yourself
I feel
going.
like you have an incredible Etsy page
Right?
at the very least.
Oh my goodness,
So,
yes.
what is Etsy? I'm not Devin. What is it? Devin,
Etsy?
could you be a consultant for me? Will you be my consultant to build Etsy store and empire?
You know what? Yeah, Absolutely, Mikhail.
Well,
I love kids, and I can't help but my heart is just being pulled 3 ways for your 3 children. So absolutely, I could. Yeah,
yes,
for
you
sure.
can tell you and Cody have good heart. Doge,
We do.
questionable at best.
Oh, well, that's not anything we don't already know.
Oh boy. Listen, how about if Neil calls back, do you have contact information for us to give to him?
Yes,
perhaps?
I'm happy to give it to you offline so that the peoples cannot contact me, unless you would like me to make things based on my seamstress abilities, and therefore you please give out my information when appropriate.
How about this? How about if you agree not to commit any violence, especially on the property of the Rhinebeck Performing Arts Center, I will be more than happy then to plug your coming Etsy page once it's up and running.
I find this to be a reasonable offer. To be fair, Douche, I would never do anything violent. Violence is not a solution to nothing. I need money. I need money, as you hear. The Nail is the deadbeat, I think is the word. Deadbeat dad.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes, and you're promoting deadbeat dad's military troop, which I'm not saying is bad. I'm just saying you're promoting it. And I wanted you to know who you're promoting.
Right. No, I appreciate that. And the more you know.
Think of me as a live Yelp review. And, you've got 2 stars right now.
Oh.
You personally. The show, maybe 3.5. I have to listen to more episodes. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to have you listen to more. Okay.
Not the first time I've been told that my personal Yelp rating is 2.5 stars. Frankly, you're being generous. But I appreciate it. And thank you for calling.
You're quite welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Nice evening. Devin, a pleasure. Cody, you good man. Douche. Maybe we never speak again.
Thanks for calling.
Bye, Mikhail.
Arrivederci.
I don't know if what we did is correct. I don't know. I mean, I gave the information out last week.
I don't know. I thought Neil sounded nice last week, but now I they got 3 kids and Mikhail needs his alimony, man. I don't know.
I'm not taking sides. I'm just, it's all very...
Well, I wasn't trying to take sides, but, kids were involved. You know how my heart just jumps out to kids.
The biggest surprise of that whole phone call was not only did Mikhail see the movie, he understood what it was about. And I would even say, probably agreed with our take on it as well.
Yes.
I think on that, track of the message of the movie is one thing. The execution of the movie, this is, the year before Star Wars comes out and kind of realigns and is like, hey, you can make science fiction that's not cheesy or
porn or almost
porn or bananas.
That's another thing we didn't stress enough is this movie is almost porn.
Yes, it is.
It is. There's a lot.
I mean, we made a lot of rip-torn penis jokes earlier, but
there's a lot of naked people in this movie. And there's just a button on that. This is one of the confusing things about the movie, why it's a little hard to follow. The dude who's basically, I think, set up the hit on Farnsworth, the big black guy.
Yeah.
There's a scene with him and his wife where he just comes out of the pool stark naked as you see for no apparent reason.
What's his name? He's in a lot of things.
Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, that's right.
But you're right.
Bernie Casey.
Yeah, Bernie Casey's in a lot of
things. He's an excellent actor too, by the way.
But he just gets out of the pool completely naked, greets his wife who's completely naked. Yeah. And it's 1976 naked. So, which brings me to our sponsor, Manscaped, which if you order Manscaped, you get a complete package that comes in a very sleek and convenient leather satchel. If you go to Manscaped right now and type in promo code STUDIO, you'll get 10% off your first purchase. Manscaped. Get buzzed. Guys, sorry about that, Devin.
Nope, that's okay. I'm sorry that I couldn't keep it together. Oh my goodness.
Appropriate.
Oh yeah. No, what I want to point out too is you're right. That whole scene with him and his wife, it's so weirdly pornographic, and then immediately goes into a scene of them tucking their children into bed.
Right. The only thing that could have made that better is bluegrass. It would
Oh
not
my
be
God.
unexpected. It would back
No.
by then in the movie. By that point in the movie, it would be welcome, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
But right now, it's time for a brand new segment that I am really goddamn excited about. It is called "Let's Franchise It, comma baby." So first and foremost, okay, we've seen the film. Do we want to write a sequel or do a remake? What is the vote?
Remake.
Now, there's three of us, so we do
Yeah.
have a Oh, so
I
we're
vote
unanimous.
remake.
Yeah, I vote
Yeah.
remake as well.
Yeah.
Okay, who directs it? Who's on our short list?
I was
Sure.
thinking the Dune guy.
Oh,
Den-
Denis Villeneuve?
Denis
Yes,
Villeneuve.
Denny. Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a
God
good
damn.
choice. That's
Well-
he's
Yeah.
coming out swinging, Doug. That's a good
Yeah.
choice. That's
Yeah.
a really good choice.
I actually have a T-shirt that just says "Directed by Denis Villeneuve."
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I have it. I have that shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
I already. Yeah.
you need to wear
That's a
shirt,
great.
though.
I co-sign that, Dev. That's a good.
Thank you.
That's really
Yeah.
good.
We're
Well, my
unanimous
immediate-
on that too.
Mhm.
Excellent. Well, my thought was he knows sci-fi. We know he can do top-notch sci-fi, and
Of
ultimately
complicated sci-fi.
sci-fi, which I feel like
Yeah.
that's what this movie is. It is complicated sci-fi.
When you think about the piece of crap Blade Runner 2049 could have been
Yeah.
under anyone else's watch,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
he's
Yep.
probably the only choice.
Yeah.
To
No, that's a
do
good.
a
That's a
remake.
great choice. It'll just be like a
Wow.
rival, but
Right? Because let's be honest, if we went the J.J. Abrams route, all it would
Oh,
be
no.
would be like
No.
lens flares and stupid shit.
it would be what we got.
So we also have to
Confusion.
approach. Duncan Jones and Amon as an homage to David Bowie.
Ooh.
Use some of the
I-
deep cuts from that period
I
to
think he,
recontextualize them.
Okay.
honestly, I'll give up if Denis Villeneuve is busy. I feel like Duncan Jones is a good second choice because he's a pretty solid director and he's made a couple
Yeah.
of really good movies.
Moon was fantastic, wasn't it?
Moon was amazing. So
Yeah.
as a second,
I like this idea. Yeah. Maybe we just assume that he's somewhere on the crew anyway. If Denis Villeneuve isn't too busy and he can direct our
How much of a budget do we have for this?
we
You
can't
know,
go crazy.
I hate to be that guy, but
I think I'm going like 50
Okay.
million.
okay.
50 million.
I think that's
Small.
reasonable.
We don't want to
Yeah.
go overboard.
No.
yeah, we don't want this to be a big CGI fest.
No.
You know,
Because honestly, it really doesn't need CGI if it's done properly.
yeah,
Because the
I
stuff,
agree.
right? The stuff on Earth doesn't need CGI, and the stuff on. Oh, by the way, this reminds me. I don't think they ever said the name of the planet in the original movie, but it's
No.
Athena,
Yeah, something like that.
Athenia, something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Crap.
of course, we're gonna have to rework the screenplay. Maybe
Mhm.
use elements in the book that weren't used the first time.
Yes, thank you.
You know,
Shed
Mhm.
some light on some places.
Yes.
is it a going home story, or is it the same sort of he's poisoned by us,
I like
which
that.
is like a reverse Superman? I like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, the other interesting element of the book versus the movie that I think should be used, which actually disappointed me, it wasn't used the first time, is so the idea was he was going to send water to their planet. In the book, he's trying to get actual ships that can get to his planet to bring everybody who's remaining back to Earth because their
Right.
planet is no longer
Oh.
viable. So there is sort of a, like you said, it's not a homecoming per se, but it kind of is because the whole point is that he's supposed to get himself together here so he can bring them here. The other thing about the book is, remember, nobody knows he's an alien except for a couple of people. And that holds true in the book. And so even when the government figures out that he's an alien, it's not as though it becomes widespread. And government intervenes, jacks everything up. And that whole thing, this is the other thing that disappointed me in the original. The whole thing about where they do the x-rays of his eyes and they mess
Right.
up his eyes.
Mhm.
He needs his fancy alien eyes to be able to navigate however they built the spaceships. So he cannot go get them. And the last thing he does is send them a message. So like in that version where they have like the record and he's like, well, because my hope is they'll hear it at some point. Literally the book does end with he can't get them. So he is completely not only did we destroy him like because
so nobody hears Bowie's version of Automatic for the People. That's all I thought of when I saw that cover. I was like, oh, it's the cover of Automatic for the People. Like, yeah.
So basically it ends so in that aspect, it does sort of end the same in that he fails at his mission. So in the book, he fails at the mission and he does. So we can avoid that. So we can avoid those sociopolitical.
I don't think we need it to be that dour, but like you could need a little like a twinkle of hope.
Okay, so I'll give you the twinkle of hope. Let's change the ending of Mary Lou and Bryce to be, let's give them a good ending. Whereas like the other one, all the characters end with like a longing or a pining. Let's give them an arc where they get to move on.
Okay.
And not just a marriage, nothing that rote. Just like, and they don't win the lottery, but like, something good happens to them.
Like a little bit of joy. Like they're actually happy together. Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe Bryce is still working like on things. He's a smart guy. Maybe he's still pushing.
Oh,
are we going to do social comment? Like, are we going to make him who we think he is already in the movie?
Oh, I mean,
in our congressional Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, right. Like
no.
I was thinking more like Bryce is like an Elon sort of figure.
But is Bryce Elon or is Newton Elon?
Elon wishes.
Yeah,
I mean, Elon does wish he was David Bowie.
Yeah,
but I mean, ultimately, I
guess it'd be more Denny's choice, really.
That's true.
It's gonna be Denny. We're leaving it up to Denny.
That is, yeah, we'll leave that up to him. But the only negative about the remake will be that it'll just that whole sequence of Newton being like, "Here's my big spaceship, check it out." People are going to be like, "We've seen this like 4 times in the last 5 years."
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we go with like not the freaking moss tram that they had in the original, but maybe we go with some sort of organic looking thing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do like that. Moss
again,
tram.
That's production design. I'm not going to get in their business.
It's called Mossy TP Alien Tram was what I had.
Yeah. It was literally spray painted yellow, right?
You could see that. Unfortunately, that's the sad part about the Criterion versions. In that sense, it's so high quality that you can see it.
The 4K revealed how. Yeah,
it's not great. I mean, it's great to see. It's also not great to see.
Yeah. Do you remember the first generation Blu-rays? How awful they looked.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember going into a Best Buy. And they were trying to sell you on these players and these TVs, and they had one of the Batman movies, and it was like Batman Begins, right? But he's in the Batmobile for the first time. He's rolling as like a helicopter light, and it looked like a camcorder had shot it. It looked like it was homemade footage from somebody who was on the set. And I'm mentioning that because 4K, although does get us really, really quick, like it looks so much better than the sample rate on those early,
That's true.
Blu-rays are awful because everybody goes back to Laserdisc, right? It's almost a nostalgia thing where he's like, Laserdiscs were amazing, Blu-rays were not. Like, let's never go back to that for any reason. They even had to put certain TVs had settings to like the cinema setting, and all it was just a tint to mask all the things that the Blu-ray was making garbage.
There's somebody that will tweet out before the holidays it'll just say the brand of TV and what the setting is to turn off. Because you're going to your parents' house. Like if they have a Sony, turn off this. If they have a Panasonic, turn off. It's just a list of things like, here's what to turn off, kids. And just gives you a guide.
That's great. That's great.
That's amazing.
All right. Do we
Oh,
want to
my
try
God.
to say it at the same time? Because Devin is probably going to beat us to this because her choices have been all stellar so far. Who's your lead
Okay.
actor? Do you have him in your head?
I do.
I
do
don't
too.
actually.
It's going to
You
be
guys
very
go ahead.
telling, and I don't think we're going to be on the same page, Doug. But
What's that? Oh, no, I'm not
I
going to say
think-
Matt Dillon. I'm not going to say Matt Dillon. I'm not going to.
I picked Denny. You guys pick the lead.
You ready to go 1, 2, 3?
sure.
1. Oh, yeah, I got to remember his name. Oh, no, because I didn't want to. Okay. I got to count and remember his name at the same time. 1,
1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
Adam Driver.
Harry Styles.
You went musician.
I did.
Oh,
Devin, you decide. Is it going to be Harry Styles or is it going to be Adam Driver?
That's a good choice, though. I'm not mad at your choice.
Harry Styles is a great actor, too, though. He's proven he could act.
I feel like under any other circumstances, I would say Adam Driver, but this, Harry Styles is it. Yes.
Hear me out, though. Isn't that an
Okay.
interpolation of the movie we saw, though? Like, isn't that...
So,
Yes.
are you suggesting that Adam Driver will bring something new?
Just as a box glance, you're kind of like, they just replaced Bowie with a musician, with a sample of Bowie.
Yes.
Because he already has
There's
songs that intentionally sound like Bowie.
Right. There's a
True.
little bit of it, but also just that, like, just how at the time Bowie looked like he looked alien because he looked so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right.
like he looked out of place because he looked so
Yeah.
strange in like a perfected way, down to like his clothes, his hair, his like everything about him was like this weird, like he doesn't look quite right because he looks out of place because he's an alien. That's where I was going.
I agree. I understand that.
But I think Adam Driver could do it too. Like I'm like, that's not a bad choice.
Well,
either.
that's my only contention, like to Harry Styles is to me that'd be like casting Vanilla Ice in a movie that Freddie Mercury did.
Oh,
A little bit of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
A
mean?
little bit of it. I'm only saying that also because of Harry Styles, like he's done movies.
Right.
Yeah,
And he's
he
had
is,
some interesting,
I mean, technically,
takes.
Vanilla Ice did a movie too.
which I think
Don't say.
I think Candy Clark was in that movie.
What?
in Cool as Ice.
I think so.
We got to look that shit
Somebody
up
was
right now.
somebody was in I saw that when I was
What?
researching. Yeah, look up Cool
Okay,
as-
please confirm.
Yeah.
Okay, so while Doug is confirming that, yeah, this is someone because of it. I mean, you both you named two people that absolutely would be brilliant.
Candy Clark was in Cool as Ice. I'm looking at it.
What?
Oh, that's funny.
Man. Oh man. Naomi Campbell was in it too, and one can only hope she hit Vanilla Ice with her phone.
Oh, I hope that
Okay.
happened a lot.
Wow.
Anyway,
Okay,
Yeah.
all
Could be
right.
worse.
Well,
She could have been in Body Rock with Lorenzo Lamas. Also shot by Robbie Mueller.
okay,
You're welcome.
okay.
Go ahead.
That's no. Okay.
Shout out to my film student friends. Go ahead.
sorry, can we stray from lead actor and go to crew and who's going to shoot this thing? Because I think I know Doug's answer.
Oh, he died. He died. Robbie Mueller died.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Who's the heir apparent to Robbie Mueller, in your opinion? Then
Oh, good question.
I don't know if there
Okay.
is one who paints that intentionally with light
okay.
that I've seen, that I'm aware
Okay.
of. Right? But if we're talking about going into New Mexico,
Yeah.
Roger Deakins is the only choice.
That's my
Oh.
choice too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. No
We better
argument
get
there.
we might have to raise some more money for this movie.
we might have to raise more money for this.
Yeah.
Or somehow convince them that this is a film that needs to be remade and they need to work within our budget because they're the only people who will be able to do it right.
Right.
He might.
I mean, I wonder if they'd say yes to that. Which actually, before we go to the rest of like the cast and crew, I want to rewind a little bit. I think you guys just answered another question, which is I think we obviously have to keep this in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Because that was the
Yeah,
other element
yeah.
I was going to mention
Yeah. Yeah.
is
yeah.
I don't know if you guys realize this, but in the book, he lands in Kentucky.
That's the book's problem. Yeah.
Yeah. No, New Mexico's his
Mm-mm.
choice. It's
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
place to be.
So, okay. So we're keeping it in New
Yeah.
Mexico. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're keeping it in New Mexico. We got Denis Villeneuve. We got Roger Deakins. We're very happy.
Right.
I do feel like we need to discuss like art direction and or costuming, because you have to admit, like, both Mary Lou and Tommy Newton's outfits are
I'm going to tell you.
they're
Right now.
beautiful.
So
Everybody else is just par for the course because of the time, but the two of them need to look magnificent.
yeah, the couple that were the production designer and scout and the costume designer.
Are they still alive?
Oh, May Routh, and the production design was Brian Eatwell.
Well, I kind of want to. I think we should hire them again. Or do you think they
May
would
Rouse
say?
passed away.
Yeah, so there goes that.
Brian
Dang
Ewell
it.
passed away as well. Sorry.
Okay.
Crap. All right, so let me see.
I mean, you could go full Fifth Element and get Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Right,
Wait.
we can get like a fashion designer if we.
Yeah.
but-
Is Jean-Paul
but we-
Gaultier still allowed, or is he somebody? Because Karl Lagerfeld's no longer allowed. Is Jean-Paul Gaultier? Is
But
he
we
still
already
okay?
agreed to a $50 million budget. I just got to keep reminding. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's literally,
Oh, yeah,
there's
we
literally a
can't.
person
Okay.
that does this job that I'm saying. So I don't feel like I'm talking out of
All right, you're right.
school. So that's why I
let's
don't want to
see.
go with like a big designer. Like I would
Okay, that's
rather.
fair. How about the gal who did Mad Max Fury Road? I believe she won an Oscar.
I think
Or
you're
do we
right.
think she'd be too hold on. That might be too much.
Jenny
I don't-
Beavan?
Maybe what
Yes.
has she won more than once?
I
Or has
think
she been
she's-
nominated again? Because I feel like
Yeah, she. I
We're
don't know if
making
she's
a
been
lot of safe
nominated.
choices, by the way. Like we got a guy who shot the desert perfectly in Sicario. And we're going to get the costumer who knows how to make sci-fi look great in a desert. No, but these are. Yeah, I think this keeps us within the 50. I feel like
Yeah.
we're making
Okay.
some. Yeah,
Yeah.
Harry Styles might be our only risk.
you know what? In which case, maybe we do go Harry Styles because we need to take that risk. Because if we're being safe everywhere else,
Oh, she's
Yeah.
won 3 Oscars.
okay. See, I'm not wrong. What are the other things she's won Oscars for?
A Room with a View and Cruella.
Oh, well,
The costume in
damn.
Cruella was fun. No, the costume was.
Yeah.
I saw that. The live action Cruella.
Yeah.
She can.
Yeah.
Oh, well then.
It's very trashy
yeah.
and punky. It was fun.
Okay, tell me
She
her
could
name
do
one
it.
more time.
Jenny Beavan.
Jenny Beavan. All right. Well, I feel like Jenny Beavan's handling our costumes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it. Crush
yeah,
it.
I think Jenny Beavan's handling our costumes.
Who is our female lead? And
Okay.
why is it?
Why is it
Well-
Alana Haim?
Yeah, it's definitely Alana
I
Haim.
actually think it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually on board with that. Strangely.
Yeah, Alana Haim.
Alana Haim.
Okay, I actually have an answer for this.
By the way, audience,
be-
we that's usually my answer in private conversation. That's my answer for everything because she is my female Matt Dillon. So I stick her in everything that Matt Dillon's too old to play. Which is why we need an over the edge remake with Alana Haim.
Okay. So the reason Alana Haim works is she starts out, because remember her character is from Oklahoma, right?
Right.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
she like goes to New Mexico or whatever when she's like 16. The whole thing about her is that there is this lovely innocence, the way she dresses, her makeup, all that kind of stuff. And then as she's pulled into this weirdly glamorous, decadent world, she still maintains a certain level of that for a very long time. So I one of the first scenes where she and Tommy are living together, the way they do her makeup, she looks like she's trying to be a 16-year-old who is trying on her mother's clothes and makeup. And I think Alana Haim could do that. I think she could do that lovely,
Agreed.
like,
A lot of, well, here's the thing. A lot of the videos that Paul Thomas Anderson has directed for Haim,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
She already looks like the tough girl from 1976, right?
Mhm.
That's why she's so perfect in Licorice Pizza, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought that's a natural fit.
Yeah. I
And
think
also,
it's
if
really
she's
good.
playing opposite, either way, if she plays opposite Adam Driver or Harry Styles, it works either way.
Yeah.
You can Alana Haim, you can age up or down.
Yes, you definitely could.
Yeah.
Which obviously is part of the character too. We know that she's got to be able to age quite a bit.
Yeah.
So really all we're missing is Nathan Bryce, our what is he? He's some sort of chemist or rocket fuel expert professor dude. Rip Torn.
And our Buck Henry guy. We need our Buck Henry guy.
Yeah.
Oliver
that's a tougher
Farnsworth.
one, I think.
I think that is harder.
Yeah.
That is harder.
I feel like Paul Giamatti for one of those.
I think that's Rip Torn. I think Paul Giamatti definitely, especially because I feel like our remake removes a lot of that, because we've already discussed it. We're going to condense.
Wait, I don't agree.
No, you don't agree? Okay.
I don't agree because he needs to age up significantly and needs to start closer to where Alana Haim starts.
Dang it.
That's
okay.
True. He's a little too old at the beginning.
So maybe we spend the money and get Adam Driver here.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
and
that's
just
good.
Go cheap on the Buck Henry character.
Okay.
He's only in it here and there.
That's true.
But it's got to be like
he's on
a
the
nice
phone most of the time.
But he's also whoever Buck Henry is has got to be like a nice character. I mean, well, in fact, we got to stop calling him Buck Henry. He's Oliver Farnsworth.
But he gets the same sweatsuit. That's I'm going to insist as the producer that he stays in that.
Also, the glasses. The glasses have to stay because that's such a brilliant element. And that's not in the book because actually, that's the other fascinating thing is the Oliver Farnsworth character isn't really in the book. But I think we keep him.
Yeah,
because I like his element. I like what he brings. He brings a cohesiveness to the reality of the story, right?
I agree.
Patent attorney getting our Tommy Newton his money. Yeah, his
That's going to be really tricky for Denis to pace out too, because in the original, he's like, you got 9 patents here, and the next day he's a millionaire.
Yes,
right, and has swallowed Kodak into the umbrella of this poorly named, lazily named corporation.
The division of Plasmot, part of ComEd TechCom.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I think we can go really cute here also, because Buck Henry's almost a cute choice in context of then.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, is Paul Giamatti too expensive as Oliver Farnsworth? Because I could totally see him in the glasses and being pretty adorable. Or do we think we still need somebody younger?
I don't think it's necessary. But Paul Giamatti, I think we're spending too much money if we
spending too much money. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think we get like a TV person.
Oh,
or even give a comedian a shot at that role. Like, let's go Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, just give him a quirky, if you give him an opportunity to do something odd without having to go full Robin Williams, we pay him half the Giamatti salary because we blew our,
I do have to ask though, do we think Jim Gaffigan will take half the money of Paul Giamatti? Do we think so?
He doesn't know how much we were going to pay Paul Giamatti.
All right, that's fair.
Right.
That's fair. You're not wrong.
Right.
This is our new podcast called Contract Negotiations.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's good. I like Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So let's recap a little bit and see where we are, because I think we've got most of it knocked out. Okay.
Yeah.
1, we're keeping New Mexico as as our location, both where we're going to film and the location for the plot itself.
Yes.
We are asking Denis Villeneuve to be I'm sorry, I have no French accent, to be our director. Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve to be our director.
It's fun to say. If you say it a bunch of times, it's really fun.
And then Duncan Jones has to be an AD, like first AD or something. We need him in there somewhere.
He's not going to take the first AD job.
No. Okay, well, you know what I mean, but like maybe he produces? Do you think he'll produce?
Executive?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's got to consult on something because we're also, screwing around with his father's legacy.
Right. So maybe, executive producer's not bad.
Right. Or we stay in touch. We get the music rights.
Yes.
Because like, who knows what he'll want? Because he'll have his own, creative people. We're trying to run a business here.
I mean, okay, fine. I get it. All right, fine. Okay. So we're there.
I'm that producer on this version.
You are that producer on this version. Okay.
Get butts and seats, people.
Right. Harry Styles, I like it, David. I like it.
Okay. Our cinematographer is Roger Deakins. I'm getting us back on track here. Jenny Beavan is our costume designer.
Great
and
choice.
And our main 4 characters are Harry Styles is Thomas Jerome Newton. Adam Driver is going to be Nathan Bryce. We're throwing in some Jim Gaffigan as our adorable Olive Farnsworth, and we're keeping the glasses. And then Alana Haim is going to be Mary Lou.
I feel like my question now is the big one for Doug.
Yes.
Who scores this movie?
Ooh.
Oh,
who does the music?
Mark Mothersbaugh. He has a lot of experience, and he's scored everything. He scored What We Do in the Shadows. He scored all the Thor movies. He scored like his list of things that he scores now are just endless.
Okay.
Mark Mothersbaugh. Yeah.
Mark Mothersbaugh?
He's a singer from Devo.
Okay. Well, sorry.
Pee-wee's
We're literally
Playhouse.
we're remaking a film. So I clearly have to take notes on who we've selected.
Right.
So that's why I'm asking. Don't act
you're in
like
charge
I'm
of $50 million. So,
I mean, that's what I'm just saying. I got to make sure that I've got this written
Devin's
down
taking
correctly.
notes so she can reach out to their representation.
Right.
Darn right I am.
Who's doing craft services? That's
And also in real life, if anybody knew Devin, this would be broken down to the cent right now.
Yeah.
There would
You don't
be
even know,
a
listeners.
Nope.
You're right. There would be a graph. There would be a pie chart.
You know what type A personalities is? Her just like type infinity symbol. It's type whatever the Prince called himself. Like it was that.
Oh my God. That is exactly what I am. No joke.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I have one other significant question.
Yes.
Are there any major plot changes other than what we mentioned already, which
we're getting rid of the Rip Torn thing.
Yeah, we're getting rid of Rip Torn's backstory.
I'm going to insist on the love scene where she tries to negotiate with whatever business that is, but that business is up to the director what it actually looks like or how it functions, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to insist that love scene be kept because that's a wonderful moment, right?
If that's the only one, then that will really.
So then it'll hit harder.
It'll hit.
Yes,
really hard.
it'll hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't necessarily have to be completely naked, whatever it is. However, that's up to Denny, but
right.
But that scene has to,
Yeah.
Okay.
That moment needs to be in there. I don't think you need to change the overarching plot of the movie. You just need to clean it up to make sense of it and make sure it flows together really well.
So. Well, and what we had talked about before about I like more of that. We're not trying to ship water to you. We're trying to get everybody
here.
There. Trying to get you
That's
here.
More interesting.
Yeah.
Where the mission is clear out of the gate.
Yeah. The mission being clear out of the gate. Yes, thank you.
I'd like to keep the 76 Lincoln limousine with the giant antenna on it, even though it takes place in 2025.
Absolutely. I do want to know, are we keeping the weird Pioneer, now that you've described it accurately to me, are we keeping the Pioneer time travel thing?
Again, that's probably a screenwriter Denis decision.
Okay, fine.
Anybody can make it work.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I can only lean in on the big moments, right? Like as a producer, I'm probably going to lean in on that and make a suggestion that some of the subtext, like maybe the Mary Lou character, does demonstrate a lot of false eyelashes, false fingernails, soap, and a lot of scenes where she's applying and reapplying those things to give her a parallel to the alien,
Oh, a little bit more like when I was talking about before, the X-rays fuse those contacts to his eyes and, like that whole, like a better explanation of that. Yeah. Just like a slightly better explanation of certain things.
And who's, what gin do we want to get for product placement?
Oh. Gin. I mean, I think let's go Hendrix or something. Let's go
Bless.
Yeah. Hendrix is good.
Well, I guess okay.
I don't drink. I'm allergic to gin. It makes me like a big dick. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Okay.
No. Well, I think that sums up our remake of The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Coming in 2026.
Honestly.
Oh, we're shooting right away.
Oh, right now.
We're not even storyboarding.
No.
We're just getting right. We're just
getting right into it.
Yeah. I mean, because that's what you do. You just get a camera and go to New Mexico.
We got to do it before Dune 3. So we got to get in there.
Well, obviously, yeah.
He could definitely make this before Dune 3.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, this is the remake we're making. I hope you close your eyes and see it in your brain and enjoy it. And what are we doing next week, Devin? What show? What movie are we talking about next week?
We've decided to jump into the 90s and we're doing House of Yes.
Ooh, about time that. The 90s, yeah. Yeah, House of Yes, starring Tori Spelling and Parker Posey. And I'm
so excited.
2 great tastes in 1 candy bar. But yeah, I mean, you'll be very surprised by Tori Spelling's performance because you've never seen it, Deb.
I have not seen it. This is on my list of have not seens, and I'm quite excited about it.
And I'm just going to tell you in advance, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So join us next week for the House of Yes. We're your studio property. Oh, I got to come up with a catchphrase, don't I?
Oh, you do. Yeah, it's your turn.
All right. So I'm Doug Wortell.
I'm Devin Irby.
I'm Cody Ramone.
And don't yell fire in a crowded theater. Yeah. It's closer.
Better, not great.
Studio Property is mixed at Spillway Street Content in Red Hook, New York, and syndicated on Radio Free Rhinecliff. Theme song by The Corner Bodega. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and follow us on Instagram at Studio Property Show. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Spillway Street.